Alright, what's up, gang? What's up? Welcome back. If you're new to the channel, you feel me? Here, I like to talk about self improvement, astrology specifically, because over the past couple of years, I've been diving into it and realizing that it really can be like a major tool for self improvement if, used the right way. So, last video I went over Aries energy, the sign Aries. In this video we gonna cover Taurus. Alright, so jumping right in. If you were born from April 20th to May 20th, that makes you a Taurus. Congratulations. Taurus, they're ruled by the planet Venus. In astrology, the term rule just refers to the planet that corresponds with the energy, right? And so Venus, is seen as a planet of love. Um, I guess you could say compassion in a sense, understanding, right? Definitely big on the understanding. A very sensual energy as well, especially in Taurus and Taurus people. Venus has two signs, Taurus and Libra, are both ruled by Venus, but Taurus, especially being because it's an Earth sign, is definitely, I would say, more sensual than Libra. Now, Venus also corresponds to art and music, music, poetry, anything, painting like that under the sun. If you're a Taurus or a Libra, you're probably naturally artistically gifted in some sense. Maybe you're probably really creative, at the very least, even if it's not necessarily in an artistic way, if that makes sense. So the house correspondence would be the second house. Taurus rules the second house, not your second house if you like hear someone talking about like a birth chart, but just the second house in general in astrology. It's ruled by Taurus. And I'm gonna do another video, a separate series on houses, and we're gonna, dive into that more and the planets as well, but it's just a brief overview. So the duality is feminine, definitely feminine. Being an earth sign and being ruled by Venus, definitely really feminine, the Tauran energy. Um, the mode is fixed. Modes in astrology are just really another way of getting more information, about someone's personality, or behavioral type, however you want to, personality. So there's three modes. You got your cardinal, your fixed, and your mutable. Fixed basically refers to not, I don't want to use the word stagnant, but more so like a fixed mindset, or like a fixed approach, a fixed position, if that makes sense. Usually it's more so like an idea, I guess I would say it manifests more so as a goal that you probably would devote a lot of your time into seeing into fruition as a fixed sign. It could be like a fixed perspective, like emotional, from an emotional standpoint too. But being an earth sign, because that's the element, being an earth signs, very supportive, right? So you could think about the earth, like the earth provides, support for everything, right? Structure, foundation. So earth signs really have a knack for materializing things, manifesting things into physical reality via just working hard. Honestly, earth signs are definitely the work horses of the zodiac. And so being a fixed earth sign, Taurans can sometimes be very stuck in their ways, whether that be for good or for bad. But again, they can also be very loving, very creative people. They usually have very nice voices. They usually have very nice voices because of the body part that they're associated with, being the throat and the throat chakra. playing a small part in that, not really a huge, not as much as, with Gemini, because Mercury rules that, the throat chakra. But here, Taurus definitely rules the throat, and that's one thing you'll notice. A lot of Tauran people do have nicer voices. They can usually sing, being a Taurus, but mostly because I would say being ruled by Venus, and Venus um, ruling over art, especially music and dance and things of that nature. And so yeah, Taurans usually have beautiful voices. Venus, excuse me, not Venus, but Libras too. Chakra. Okay, so with the chakra here, I listen too because sometimes, of course, it's not just everything's not just so confined, right, to one path or one way of looking at it. And the same goes for, energies. It's like everything else, like perspectives, just like directions to go places, like anything else. So here with Taurus, that Taurus energy corresponds to the sacral chakra. Venus rules the sacral chakra, and also the heart. Venus energy plays a big part with the heart too, and the sun as well. Arguably, the sun probably a little more, definitely corresponding to the heart, but Venus definitely corresponds to the energy of the heart as well. And so that's why I've listed the heart chakra. And traditionally, it's the sacral, though. Like if you have done any research on it before, you probably come across the sacral chakra being associated with Taurus, which it is, and which it definitely is, because the sacral chakra, it corresponds to Venus, and set your sexual energy, and Taurus again are very sensual, being earth signs, very sensual, very very sexual energy too as well, very strong sexual creative energy. Because remember, your sexual energy is your creative energy, right? That's why sexual transmutation is such like a big thing, right? Or at least you're starting to see more about it now, because more people are starting to realize the value in practicing it. And so the colors again, pink and green, both associated with the heart chakra, both both associated with peace, prosperity, love. The crystal, and I know I'm saying a lot. Like, I'm sorry, I know I'm saying fucking a lot. My bad. I low key just got up not too long ago, but yeah. So crystal, the crystal slash gemstone associated with Taurus energy. Basically, I guess you could say like birthstone, but there's definitely more than just like what you would read, what you would research and then learn as like your birthstone. Definitely more crystals that can be utilized for similar things. And so the emerald, of course, corresponds to the heart chakra. Very green, very beautiful green color, corresponds to that Taurus energy, right? And rose quartz, I listed rose quartz because it corresponds to the heart chakra. And so I feel like rose quartz could definitely help to balance you out also if you are a Taurus. And so yeah, moving along, I got a couple of strengths and a few weaknesses here. Well, a few strengths and a few weaknesses here on the characteristic side. First, Taurans can be, again, let me start off by saying there's always, again, positive and negatives to everything. So a very positively vibrating, you could say a very positively feeling, you could say like overall, just energy, like person. Very positive Taurus, you'll probably see more of the strengths and a lot less of the weaknesses, and vice versa. On a more, lower frequency overall Taurus, more lower, maybe more on the depressed, super anxious, just lower energy side, you might see the weaknesses more. You probably would. So reliability, Taurans as earth signs, and especially as earth signs being ruled by the planet of love, Venus, can be very reliable, super loyal too. I should have threw that on there. Very reliable, very, very reliable, very determined, very determined. Usually when a Taurus sets a goal, It might take a long time because Taurus energy is very slow and steady, very slow and steady energy, most definitely. But it doesn't really matter again because they are fixed signs, and they will take that position and stand there and man that shit until and man their position until whatever it is they're trying to manifest comes into fruition. So they're very determined, very determined, most definitely, very persevering. Again, super compassionate. A Taurus will share, their last with you honestly if they really fuck with you, most definitely. They will give their last. Um, Weaknesses, got a few. It can be lazy again because of and I literally just realized the fucking typo there. Forgive me for that shit. I just noticed that. Damn. They can be lazy at times. They can definitely be lazy at times. Think about they're represented by the bull, right? And so just think about how like bulls and like cattle just kind of like chill and graze and like just lay there sometimes chewing on their shit, like can be very, and it's a peaceful energy again because it's love, right? It's very calm, it's a peaceful energy, but at the same time, too much of a good thing is always a bad thing, and it can turn turn into procrastination and laziness if not managed, and if you're not mindful of that. And so next we have resistant to change. Taurans can be very resistant to change. They don't really like sudden change. They don't really like to be rushed, at all to do anything. Again, like it's very slow energy. They like to take their time, most definitely, and move when they're ready. And again, that can be a bad thing sometimes, but you must learn balance, especially ruled by Venus. Venus also corresponds to balance and harmony, and just a balance, having a certain balance of things, right? Because everything is balance in a sense. Like you have to balance out the good with the bad, and in everything you do, in order for it to be a positive experience overall. And so yeah, resistant to change. They can be very resistant to change, right? And that's one thing I would say you definitely have to learn. And I myself, I'm not a Taurus, but I have a lot of Taurus energy, so I can attest to that. I don't really I definitely don't like to be rushed, and I had to learn to get used to, right? I had to learn to get used to change, most definitely, right? And adapting to that quickly. So this last one, my slow ass, I don't know how to fuck. This last one is supposed to be overindulgence, but I don't know how. Like I typoed that shit. My bad again. Forgive me. But the last one's definitely overindulgence. Again, as I said, Taurus will be very sensual. Taurus energy corresponds to the five senses. They usually have a little bit better hearing, a little bit better taste, like remembering taste. So there's like a, was it like clairgustance or something like that, like a clear sense for that. And it's basically like if you've had like some good ass anything, not even if it's good, right? But hopefully it was good, right? Because I was gonna use macaroni as an example, and like I hate like bad macaroni. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one that even gives a fuck, but you had some fucking macaroni, right? And you smell something that might be similar to that, but you don't realize what it's similar to at first, and you kind of like, oh, and it's like, and you kind of smell, and you're like, oh, it's like macaroni, like that type of thing, right? And also again, like the better hearing, the sense of smell as well, and so yeah, very sensual, just very sensual overall, and that can lead to overindulgence, right? I don't want to say Taurans love to eat, right? Everyone likes food, but again, like I would say it's definitely more of a pleasure thing, a comfort thing. Like I would say Taurans can be big like comfort eaters, you know. And they're not the only ones, of course, but definitely can be big on the comfort food. And that mixed with the, you know, procrastination sometimes and the moving a little bit too slow, you know, to be quite honest, when you think about just how fast life moves, right? Can definitely lead to overindulgence and just stagnation, and you know that's never healthy. You know, you don't want that. You don't want that at all. And so yeah, that was Taurus energy again. Very slow moving, very steady. You know, energy. You know, Taurus represents the urge to bring something into fruition, right? To manifest, right? To take your idea, make it tangible, right? Also corresponds to money. Venus energy in general corresponds to money, because how do we get money, right? We usually acquire money, right, through providing value. Unless you're just taking that shit, I guess. But usually, you know, the right way to go about it is to find a way in which you can provide value to people, and then in return, you know, the exchange, right? Because more is money. By definition, is just a means for exchange, right? Monetary means for exchange. So you provide value in exchange for your value, you get money, right? And so that whole value providing, you know, perspective definitely corresponds to the Taurus energy, you know, a whole lot. And that's again why money is associated with Venus in the second house. And I'm pretty sure, you know, a lot of wealthy people, not everyone, but you know, a lot of super wealthy people, I'm pretty sure they probably definitely have some Taurus energy in their chart, or just, you know, some strong Venus energy in their chart, most definitely. Like Mr. Beast, for example, I'm pretty sure Mr. Beast is a Taurus, and I think his moon might be in Libra too. So, you know, and what does he do? Like, he literally just gives almost all the fucking money he has to random people, and then, you know, in exchange it comes back to him, you know. And that's a little law of attraction at the same time, but you know, mainly it's just that value providing, and that compassionate, and that sharing, giving towards, you know, spirit. And so yeah, that's it for Taurus energy. Next, I'm gonna do Gemini, so on and so forth. Like, subscribe, and peace. Okay. Damn. I can save you.